right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pop for This. We're your hosts. I am Machi the Ring Geek.
I'm Gil the Guillotine Armand.
I'm McKendy, the total heel Alistair.
Ooh.
Shut up.
Boo!
Shut up.
Alright, so today we're going to be starting actually a new series where we called What If, in which we dive into some of the scenarios in wrestling.
Yes.
Alternate timelines. What would happen if such and such didn't take place?
So
we're gonna
go back in time.
We're gonna dive into the wrestling multiverse today. Our topic is going to be what if one Owen James Hart.
His middle name was James?
I don't know.
Okay.
What if one Owen Paul Hart
I like James better.
had?
Yeah.
I like
What
James
if one Owen James Hart?
OPH?
What if Owen Payne? It's not. No, it's
Oh,
James.
You said Owen
Oh,
Payne.
Paul.
Owen the Pain Hart.
All right.
All right.
Stop fucking
All
around.
right. So today we're going to be talking about one Owen James Hart and what would have happened if Owen Hart hadn't died. Now, just to set the scene for those of you who don't know, Owen Hart at Over The Edge in 1999, making appearance as a Blue Blazer, was set into a harness, was supposed to descend from the rafters. The man fell 80 feet. Chest hit the top rope. His heart was lacerated. He died instantly there in the ring. And it's one of the most, obviously, remembered, talked about tragic stories in wrestling.
Such a loss.
But we're going to talk a little bit about the possible happy ending that we could have gotten.
Yeah.
If Owen...
Or the non-happy ending.
Or the non-happy ending that
non-happy
Owen could have
ending,
gotten. So, yeah. Let's get it started.
Can I start?
Yes, go ahead. You don't even need to raise your hand.
Okay. So before we start, let's paint a picture of what was going on during that time. This was right after the Bret Hart left.
Mm-hmm.
The Montreal screw job.
It was a little bit after. It was like a year and a half.
About a year.
Yeah. But the Montreal screw job was still talked about.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it is today. Today. And at this time, Bret the Hitman Hart is wrestling in WCW. That wound is still fresh. Vince McMahon is still in charge. And Vince, everybody knows. Everybody has a Vince story. Everybody knows Vince was a character.
Yep.
And everybody knows Vince held grudges.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
he's so petty.
Yes.
So petty.
Yes. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. Vince McMahon, everybody knows what's going on with him right now, but he was definitely...
He must have been the scariest person to pass in the hallway.
Oh, man.
Because you never know. You might get fired.
Who knows?
Hey, Vince, you're fired.
Or you're in a bra and panty match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Or
or the
you're a
other.
Blue Blazer.
Vince McMahon was... You can say a lot of things about Vince McMahon. He was definitely a character.
That's right.
And we know Vince McMahon held grudges. So the whole Blue Blazer thing, putting a person like Owen Hart, who is excellent in the ring, because his brother is the excellence of execution.
Excellence of execution.
See what I did there?
So.
Was an awesome wrestler. Yeah. I felt like he was more athletic than Bret because he was also a high flyer. Bret didn't have that. Bret only had, he would go to the top rope, he would do that, he would sit down on the top rope and then he would do that elbow.
From the second rope, yeah.
That's how high. How does he break
Maybe
up
a
any
crossbody.
Maybe he'll jump out the ring.
Yeah.
That move that he'll jump out the ring to hit somebody that's standing outside the ring. Maybe he'll do that, but that's the extent of his high flying ability and everything. He was one of the best technical wrestlers in the world and everything. And the fact they put a mask over him gave him a gimmick like the Blue Blazer. And Jim Cornette said it best, they didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't need for him to come down the rafters and everything.
No.
But it is what it is. Shawn Michaels did it also. against Bret Hart. I don't know. I don't remember what WrestleMania that is. Remember when he slid?
Yeah.
That was WrestleMania 12?
WrestleMania 12. WrestleMania 12.
Iron Man match.
So I don't know if Owen Hart's career would have popped because of Vince McMahon still holding a grudge. They didn't really know what to do with him afterwards. And he probably didn't want to do certain things because at that time, it was start of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Val Venus and stuff like that, DX.
The whole train.
No.
And Owen Hart was a family man. And he didn't want to take part in stuff like that. So I don't know how far he would have went.
He was kind of relieved when they put him in the blue blazer because he was like, now I could just hide my face and I don't have to do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He kind of was relieved, but I think they went too far with that character. There was so much other things they could have did with Owen Hart.
I think with everyone who was coming in, and Jim Ross said it, with everyone that was coming in, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, I think that his wrestling ability and then the fact that he was very funny, like Owen Hart was really funny.
They should
like
put
what
that
was it
into
when
the
he
character.
won? It was King of the Ring. He won, and he was like, "I did it."
Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah.
He was so excited. That was mad funny. I think that would have definitely.
He was a huge prankster.
I think he would have definitely taken off. Now I don't know. Main event, I don't know. Possibly, possibly. Think about it. Kurt Angle, they had him do some silly stuff too, but he broke through. And I just think about it. Owen Hart versus Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my God.
Owen Hart versus Kurt Angle. I mean,
Owen Hart versus Jericho. That could have been a dream match for Jericho.
It was right on the cusp of the Attitude Era, and then Owen Hart was even in the Nation of Domination.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And I think there was definitely stuff he could have done. I think he would have been a multiple time mid card champion.
I think he would have been a top guy because those guys you mentioned before, Eddie Guerrero, Jericho, Kurt Angle, they all were the best wrestlers.
Yeah.
Just as technical as Owen, and eventually they all got
That's
their
true.
time. All of them.
That's true.
So I think eventually Owen Hart would have gotten his time. I think he would have put on classic matches.
Yeah.
I think the wrestling would have been, we would have been looking at these matches till this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have even gone, if let's say he stayed with the company, he could have gone into Ruthless Aggression. He could have had, he could have gone into beef with Triple H with what was Evolution. That could have happened. Like, there's a lot of things, a lot of directions they could have gone even after the Attitude Era. But I think the combination of him being really, really funny and him being really good in the ring, I think during the Attitude Era he would have gotten over. But I think the era right after that, when you had was it the SmackDown 5 or the SmackDown 4? I forgot what it was.
I think it was a SmackDown 5.
Yeah.
And like these guys, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit,
Kurt Angle,
like they're
Edge,
killing it. Edge, like they're killing it. I think Owen would have fit in even more because the wrestling was of such a high quality.
If they really wanted to push him, the story was there, right there. They didn't even have to go far for a good story, because Brett is gone, and everybody know when Brett left.
So everybody knows. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody knows what happened behind the scenes between Bret Hart and Vince McMahon. So they weren't friends at the end. Bret Hart is basically like a traitor in Vince McMahon's eyes. Or maybe he was like, hey, maybe it's your time to leave. But they didn't leave in best terms. He didn't go in best terms. And Owen Hart was the only Hart family member still in WWE. They could have played the angle as Owen Hart being the underdog. You know, I can't punish you. I can't punish your brother. Well, guess what? I'm gonna punish you. I'm gonna screw you even though you're an awesome wrestler and you can win matches and stuff like that, and you can beat a lot of people. I'm gonna screw you every chance I get.
He could have been
when it comes to you becoming a champion and stuff like that.
He could have been that. He could have been that. Past
he could have been Daniel
Bryan.
Bryan before Daniel Bryan.
That could have been perfect.
You know,
that's a story.
And he would have gave Daniel Bryan worthy matches. Well, it
would have been the tail end.
It would have been the same thing.
But he could have done listen, dude. Guys wrestle well into their 40s.
You know, yeah.
He was 34 when he died. 10 years, that puts it at 2009. He would have just gotten there.
But I don't know he would have wrestled that long because Owen
maybe he did want to go to the thing. Yeah,
Owen wasn't into wrestling like Brett is. He wrestled because it was a family thing and he was really good at it. But he didn't see it as his main goal in life like Brett saw it. There was a thing I was watching. He was like he had plans to retire to become a fireman at his hometown.
Wow.
I don't know if he would have kept that plan, but that's what he wanted to do because he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Yeah,
you know.
I think he had the potential to be like that Daniel Bryan type. And I think they could have, because think about it, WWE love to weave, especially at that time, they love to weave reality into their stories,
Absolutely.
right? They could have weaved that into the story so easily. The Montreal Screwjob and Owen, they could have weaved that into the story.
Absolutely, that would
perfectly,
yeah.
Easily.
They could have capitalized
easily, and
he could have continued a rivalry with Stone Cold after breaking.
Yeah,
yes,
that they could have they could have gone on after that. On top of the fact that he had, Stone Cold had that epic beef with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
So they have that connection, and Owen broke
Exactly.
So, I think there's a lot that he could have done after the fact, but there's also the chance that he might not have stayed. What if he didn't stay?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. What if he didn't stay? What if he left with Bret and went to WCW?
Like he didn't accept that contract.
Or he didn't. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he would have ended up in WCW because even Bret didn't like WCW.
I know.
Bret would have been like, "Hell no, don't come here. Don't come here." It's horrible.
Or we could do the reverse, and eventually Owen, if he stayed and was alive,
he could mend the fences.
And Bret would have came back earlier. Never went through what he went through.
Never got kicked in the head by. Well, I don't know how long his contract was. You know,
yeah, but it
would have happened eventually.
I tried to see whose contract? Owen's?
Right, when he went to WCW, could have happened eventually.
And that means we would have had the Hart Foundation during the Attitude Era. What does that look like?
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, yeah, man. There's when you pull on the string, there's a lot that comes with it.
That's why we like what ifs.
Yeah, that's the truth with Owen, but I mean, I just keep thinking about the matches he could have. Owen Hart and Jericho would be phenomenal, and it would be funny.
That would be a rivalry.
It would be funny too.
Would be I think
it's
Jericho's hero.
Yeah, I think it would be
one that wrote itself.
It would be so funny. It's such a shame that he's not in the Hall of Fame, but I get it.
I understand.
I get it. The way his wife and his son explain it, it's like. Yeah. To say no, you don't deserve to put his name up there, and you get to talk about his glory. No, you're the ones who took him from us.
Yeah.
That's sad, but I think that's the main part of it that I really think is the next Daniel Bryan. That's what I think he could have been.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing run.
Where the crowd is just like, yo.
The first Daniel Bryan.
And no one wrestled. Who was wrestling like him?
No.
Nobody was wrestling like him.
A whole slew of guys were about to enter.
Yeah.
And he was already far ahead of them.
And
You know?
That was not. Listen, the 80s and 90s. I'm sorry, was not a paradise of good matches. It really wasn't.
No, it's a bunch of big brutes going at each other.
You had, there was.
A lot of gimmicks.
There was like the WrestleMania 10 match with Owen and Brett. That was great. Yeah. They also had an awesome SummerSlam match, steel cage match. Davey Boy Smith and Bret Hart, Macho Man, and Ricky the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3.
Classics.
But it wasn't like they weren't stacking them.
Yeah.
Like once you kind of got out of the Attitude Era and Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, but those guys got in, matches started to really stack.
And Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam,
RVD.
RVD.
Matches, they're like dream matches would have happened.
Yeah, the RVD was another one. The crowd was like, yo, this guy has to be champion. And that, to me, that 100% would have been Owen. 100%.
Look who he influenced.
Yeah?
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho. Like, he influenced a whole other generation of wrestlers.
Yep.
They have a tournament. I mean, I know it's not WWE, but AEW has a whole tournament.
Yeah.
The Owen Hart Classic.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. You told me
they have a whole tournament to honor
a whole
this man.
generation.
And it's a shame WWE can't do that.
I know.
That's crazy, man.
I know.
And every time Brett is on, this man looks like it's the last place in the fucking world he wants to be. When he's there, he's like,
hey, what's up, guys?
Because he doesn't like the people that's running it. He hates Triple H. He hates Shawn. Well, he don't hate Shawn Michaels, but he still hates Triple H.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He says he shits on Triple H every chance he gets.
That check is nice.
He shits on Triple H every chance he gets.
Nice, all right.
Yeah.
Yo.
But I think what else? If he because if he had gone to WCW, if he had, I think it would have been so much worse.
I think so too.
For him, WCW at that time was just, they were dying.
Yeah.
They were dying.
What they did with Brett, nothing.
Yeah.
Bleeding slowly.
And they're giving all these aging stars all the shine. Owen would have got lost in the shuffle, man.
At that time, they still had time to turn it around, but nah.
They didn't. They made David Arquette their champion.
They didn't. Well, that's another episode. That's another episode of WCW.
Finger poke of doom,
my lord.
That's another episode of WC. That's another episode of Pop for this.
I forgot.
I
forgot about David Arquette.
Yeah, that happened. That happened, but man, can we talk a little bit about Owen? How nice this man was in the ring?
He was so ridiculous.
Yo, that backflip
on top of the guy's shoulders.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
What?
That was crazy. He's doing missile drop
arm drag, arm drag from the top rope.
It's freaking awesome.
He's doing pop rocks before Roxanne is even born.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. He was something else. He had a match, SummerSlam match in the steel cage with Brett.
Yeah,
it was amazing
match,
and it was like a real steel cage match. It was like you either climb out or you get out through the door. It wasn't.
He had a few matches with D'Lo Brown.
Amazing. He did.
That was really good. I was like, holy smack, let's go.
They had that beef for the European Championship for a little bit. Yeah, man, Owen was really something else.
It's really hard to find anybody that has something bad to say about Owen.
Yeah.
You know?
He was a genuine nice guy.
He was a genuine nice guy. He was an ultimate prankster. He was an ultimate prankster. Everybody has a funny story about Owen because he can make anybody laugh.
Yeah.
You know, even in the ring, he would be in the ring with somebody and he'd be calling a move or calling a move and something, and he'll call the craziest move, like somersault, backward somersault. What?
Wait, me?
No.
Just be ready.
Crazy.
Like I would have loved to have seen. I don't know if this match exists. The 1-2-3 Kid against Owen Hart. Because when the 1-2-3 Kid came out, bro, he used to do X-Pac. He used to do these
crazy moves. Dude.
Or you'd hear from Vince McMahon, what a maneuver! What a maneuver!
He was flipping out the ring. I just watched him and Bret Hart. That was a good match, dude.
That was a really good match.
That was a really good match.
And man, that's crazy. Like Owen grew up.
He had
11
siblings. 11 siblings. That's crazy.
He was the youngest one, dude.
20 people in the family.
Jim Cornette said he was so good through osmosis.
Yeah, like
he didn't even try.
He didn't have to. And like 20 people in his extended family were in the wrestling business.
That's
like,
crazy.
It's tragic, man. But I definitely think, yeah, that's where things would have ended up. In WCW, it would have been no pun intended. It would have been a dub.
Absolutely.
It would have been. That would not have worked out. But I think in WWE, he would have kind of been inevitable.
He tagged a little bit. With Yokozuna. I remember.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that because I remember it was him and Yokozuna, and they were like tag team champions for a little bit. And that was when Yokozuna had the beard. I like that look. With the beard.
Yeah.
Yo, Yokozuna looked like a bad man with a beard.
That's another thing.
He was in the Nation of Domination.
Yes.
Owen Hart.
Yeah.
That
was awesome. That was awesome.
See, that's the thing
Which
about
is very
Owen.
reminiscent of the Sami Zayn and the Bloodline.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Reminds me of that a lot.
That's true.
Now that I think about it.
And you mentioned Sami Zayn, but Owen Hart is like Sami Zayn, and he's like Chris Jericho in that you can move him up and down the card. Like you can move him all over the place. He can be in mid-card feuds. He can be in a tag team. I think that would have been like his lane. Would have really been the mid-card and the mid-card titles and the tag team.
Him and Eddie Guerrero
with that one point him getting that world title run because the fans are just like,
of course they're pushing him.
Yeah,
he would have gotten a push. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I think he would have been something along those lines, like Sami Zayn, like Chris Jericho. Sami Zayn with a title shot, with a title win.
Yeah.
The story that they have for Sami right now, they could have gave Owen like, one day I am gonna be champion.
Yeah.
And people could be saying something, yeah, you're good, but you're not your brother. Like, you know, they could say something like that, you know.
There's a lot that just off the screw job alone and the animosity of that event.
They could have done
Owen Hart versus HBK. Like when HBK came back.
Wow.
Because remember, HBK was not active at that time.
Yes.
He was out of wrestling.
They could have made a whole revenge story out of that.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Instead of Jericho being his comeback match at WrestleMania 19. WrestleMania 19? Yeah, WrestleMania 19.
Owen Hart.
It would be Owen Hart.
And that would have been a banger of a match, too.
Oh, man. I mean, Jericho and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19 is like an all-time.
That's a great match.
Most people consider it a top 10 WrestleMania match of all time. But I think Owen Hart and HBK would have been right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Because when HBK came back,
Owen
he
Hart
couldn't.
and HBK.
This man could not miss.
Yeah,
he couldn't
crazy.
miss. And then his feud with Jericho in 2008.
He didn't miss a beat.
He really, So Owen and HBK, forget it. Oh my God.
Crazy.
DX, how would that have gone down? How would that have worked out?
Owen joins.
There's a lot of story that I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Owen join DX. But there's a lot of story they could have still did with Owen Hart, and a lot of it they just could have took from just like, you know, the fallout of Brett just leaving, you know, in real life, the tensions that's going on between the Hart family and Vince McMahon, you know. But he did accomplish a lot.
He did. I mean, especially considering what he was given.
Yeah, he did.
I know he had a tag team reign for a little bit. With multiple partners.
He
was a European champion.
He was King of the Ring, European champion.
Was he IC champion?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to remember.
I'm thinking he was. I'm thinking he was.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look.
But I know he had that nice run as European champion.
Yeah, let's see here.
I love him as
to be honest,
I loved him as King of the Ring. It was hilarious.
I think, to be honest, he was just missing the top belt, basically.
I'm not sure.
I know he was European champion.
Yeah, I don't know if he was I don't know if he was IC. I feel like there's no way he wasn't, but at the same time, I don't really. Okay, yes. So Owen Hart he had the IC belt twice, European Championship, 4 times the World Tag Championship, and the King of the Ring. If he had won a world title,
he would have
Grand
been
Slam
a
champion.
Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah. So they knew what they had.
Dude, they could have pushed
exactly
him.
what they had.
They could have pushed him like Daniel Bryan. He would have won the Royal Rumble, main evented WrestleMania, and beat like I don't know him against Brock Lesnar.
Owen Hart.
Whoa.
Oh well, that would be. Too far.
That might have been too far ahead. He might have been too old.
Well, no, because Brock came in 02.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true.
Brock came in 02.
You know,
we're not even talking about Owen Hart and Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that was.
What
and because Kurt Angle is
Eddie Guerrero,
a little bit more like Owen Hart, because Kurt Angle could do high flying stuff.
Exactly.
Too. He wasn't on the same level, but he could athletically keep up.
Exactly. He can keep up with Owen.
Eddie, it would have been.
It would have been a beautiful work of art.
I mean,
yeah, they had the same style.
Been beautiful.
They had the same style. It was similar.
And they had the same style, and if they let Owen, they're funny. That's what I was about to hit. If they had the in-ring ability would have been amazing, but if they would have let Owen be himself more, and everybody knows that Eddie is hilarious.
Yeah.
Their feud could have been hilarious, or they could have been a really good tag team too.
Yeah,
they could have been a really good tag team.
You know what that feud would have been? That would have been one of those classic Intercontinental Championship feuds. Just give those two the belt and let them have a nice little
let
run.
them, let
do
them
the Macho Man Steamboat.
Yes,
just let those two put on
bring
some classics.
Bring that belt some legitimacy, man. Bring it some credibility. Like the IC belt, growing up, that was my favorite belt.
My favorite belt, dude.
That was my favorite. I love the IC belt. That was my favorite belt.
I love that belt.
That was my favorite belt. So I love it that's why when Gunther had it, I loved it. Why? Because that man had it for well over a year.
Yeah.
He made that belt. He made it important. You know, I like that.
Yeah, man. So wow, he just missed the top belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
The top belt.
Yep. So he
could have won a Rumble in there somewhere.
A Rumble.
He would have been.
He would have been around
in
for
Money in
the
the Bank.
Chamber.
Owen and Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Damn.
Man, yeah.
And then in the tag team scene, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, like.
Yeah, you tagged.
There's a lot he could have. Damn, man.
That would have been crazy.
There's so much he could have done.
Yeah.
There's so much he could have done, but. So are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So thank you guys for popping in and joining us on this episode. Please make sure to help us get over and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like
and subscribe. Do it now.
And drop a comment. You know, let us know of your favorite memory of Owen Hart and what do you think of him, and like how do you think his legacy has affected the wrestling industry. So catch you next time for another episode of
Pop for this.